bitch.
Hey, welcome everybody to another episode of Sharp Lines and Stacking Dimes. This is Coach's Call, NCAA Pick'em Show. I'm here with Sit Dog, Brody, Tony Capo, Tristan Dunn. Our guy Donnie is at the Predators game. He's a bigwig over there with DraftKings, or he thinks he is. Anyway, Donnie, I hope you're having a good time. This is your coach, Coach Z. Welcome back. Last week was a decent week for me personally. I hit a few games, a few didn't. There's still some trends out there that are sticking true. You know, the Texas first half. I got to bring it up, guys. I know we didn't win, but I mean, I told you my Aggies weren't going to lose by 25, and we almost pulled it out. If our coach didn't have the best play call of his life and four curl routes inside the 5 yard line. My God, that's what $45 million gets you. I'd rather not. But anyway, we were close. But you guys, how did y'all do last week? Let's start. Tony, how'd y'all do last week?
Me personally, it was a rough week. I'm not gonna lie. I started off hot during the 12 o'clock games, and then things were looking shaky. I started doubling down and started forcing things I didn't need to force. Put me in a hole, and I just kept trying to force it. It was a rough week. I went like 6 for 16. I'm not gonna lie.
Gotcha. Brody, you around?
Hey, how y'all doing, man? I did all right. I took the early games. I took Texas, Mississippi State, that Florida, the squad ride we did in the Discord.
Yeah.
I tailed that, and then I doubled down on it twice, so I betted it twice. And then I lost on the night games. I took Oklahoma State, UCLA, and Washington. Man, they burned me.
Man, Washington got me too, brother.
Yeah, and then Kentucky.
Hey, Kentucky got their guy back for this week, though, from what I hear, right? Yeah, he's back.
Will Levis will play. Yes.
Okay, pretty good. Sid, how'd your week go, bro?
I crushed. That's just all there was to it. Tony was I was trying to get Tony to jump on the games I was on, but it started early, it started often. Brody, me and Brody, we kind of discussed, what we were going to do once we saw that KJ Jefferson was out. We jumped on Mississippi State. The only game that I actually lost in teasers was Mississippi State, and kind of like I doubled down, maybe quadrupled down with Mississippi State and USC, and there was a lot of cash tickets put up on the Discord Saturday. It was a nice day.
Tristan,
Coach,
how'd you do, buddy?
I smacked the 4-team teaser. I've gotten to where teasers are my favorite bet on college football. Whether it be over, under, spread, it doesn't matter. I like the spread. I did pretty bad though on the 3 o'clock games, but come nighttime, I smacked Illinois USC parlay and Notre Dame money line. So I mean, I think I was up like 2 units or something like that, but we didn't have a losing day, and that's all that matters.
Attaboy. That's what we're all about, is no losing days. Well, we got a couple of trends, a couple of things still staying the same. Texas looks damn good, boys, with that quarterback. Holy cow! If he hadn't got hurt, man, they'd be one of the top 2 teams in the nation, I think, because their defense they're for real. I mean, I hate saying that. It pains me to say that shit, but holy cow, Texas looks good. Dude, and you guys tell me if I'm wrong. I'm still, I can't bet TCU this week. I mean,
I love TCU this week.
They still haven't played anybody. I love their quarterback. He's great. Their quarterback's good. I do, but man, they hadn't freaking played anybody. I just don't. I don't know. I just can't. I can't see it. You tell me if I'm wrong. What do y'all think about this TCU team?
They're explosive. I mean, they're exciting to watch. They've been exciting to watch. They caught a shootout with Kansas. That was a good game to watch. Even with the backup that came in for Kansas, he looked good. That Bean kid.
Yeah.
They got to make some defensive tweaks though if they want to be a serious contender. I'm with you though. It's going to be a long ride for them if they want to win the Big 12.
I mean, they're only a 4-point favorite at home against Oklahoma State right now, as it stands. That's just something that it pops up because they're on this roll, and I just it's hard for me to take that in. But I got some quick leans, guys. Tell me what you think when I'm done. I like the Penn State Michigan under. I like Big Ten unders a lot. Akron at home against Central Michigan plus 13.5. I mean, it's a conference game. They're both the same records. I'd love double digits at home. Bowling Green, again, conference game. Records are the same. They're catching points at home. I don't know, dude. I mean, I know Auburn sucks, but 14.5 in an SEC game is a lot of points. I think Iowa State covers 16 at Texas. Although I do bet Texas first halves. So I'm gonna bet Texas first half minus 8.5. I like Iowa State to keep it close, plus 16. There, Iowa State is not anywhere close to as bad as Oklahoma is. UMass plus 17, Buffalo at UMass plus 17. Again, that's just double digits points. It's hard for me to get away from. I can't. If you're a home dog by double digits, I gotta bet it. It's a sickness. Kent State, they're my second half trendy team. Kent State plus 7.5 at Toledo. I've already bet it. I think I showed Sit Dog. I put $100 on Tennessee. I caught them at plus 7.5 early this week. I'm still on it. I still believe in it.
You think Tennessee's gonna hang within 7 of Alabama?
Yes, sir.
I mean, you want? I'll tell you what. I'm thinking Tennessee might even beat them at home. That's how big this game is.
Is Bryce Young playing?
Yes.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
Vandy plus 38.5 at Georgia. Georgia has a bye week next week, and then they have the world's largest cocktail party the week after they play Florida. Okay, I think half of these guys are going to be asleep, packing their gear. I think Vandy hangs in. By less. They lose by less than 38 points. I like Syracuse at home minus 3.5 against North Carolina State. I told you guys I like Q's all year. They're a different Syracuse team. I'm still going to ride them. And I'm going to ride Texas State plus 16.5 at Troy also. James Madison, Georgia Southern over 67. I think we've been doing that pretty much all season with those guys. And then Utah State minus 9 at Colorado State. Colorado State's just not very good. Those are just some leans I had. Some things that stuck out early for me. Is there anything that sticks out to you guys early? Something that y'all been talking about, discussing, looking at? Tony?
Yeah, for Friday night, I'm leaning towards SMU in a bounce back game at home against Navy. It's 12.5. I think their offense will take care of business. They should win by 2 scores. Even with a backup quarterback with Kansas, I can't put my money on Oklahoma, and I think plus 9 is too much, even still with them. I'm leaning Kansas. I like Minnesota to get back on track, minus 6.5 at Illinois. Illinois has looked good. Tommy DeVito is good, but Minnesota gets back on track. They're going to grind it out. Also, I got to keep fading Colorado. They are absolutely terrible. California's not that good, and the 15's a lot of points. I know you're talking about double-digit conference dogs at home, but Jake Plummer, he's
but not when they're that bad, bro.
They're bad. Yeah, they're bad. So I'm leaning that, and then KJ Jefferson is back, which I believe he is. I like them boys, Arkansas and BYU. I think the BYU train is done. They shot themselves in the foot against Notre Dame.
Wow,
I don't like it.
You like Arkansas beating the Colt? I like it.
I like it. Also, I think Michigan State needs a win at home. Wisconsin, they're not the same Wisconsin ever since they lost Jonathan Taylor. They need a win at home. Give me the plus 7.5 in Michigan State.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's an afternoon game. That'll be nice.
Yeah.
Brody, you got any leans right now? You want to share with us?
I like that Michigan and Penn State. I like that game to go under. I think it's gonna be some great defense being played in that Big Ten matchup, big rivalry. early game. So I may take that, put a 1 unit on it, and take that under. And then I'll be at the game for the Tennessee and Alabama game. So, of course, I'm going to have to rock with my Vols. And I think, they're hot. Their offense is hot. Watching Alabama play Texas A&M, I just don't believe they can put up the points this year and keep up with Tennessee. It'll definitely be a great game. I could be biased.
And Brody, our defense ain't that bad though, bro. This is what we got to be careful with. We don't have that bad of a defense. You have to excuse our defense because we play 3.5 fucking quarters a game. I mean, those guys are out there. I mean, the time of possession is ridiculous. So I mean, our defense is pretty freaking good. I think we're one of the top defenses in the country. We just have to play for 3 quarters, where all the other defenses only have to play for half. We got to play for 3.5 quarters. But I'm with you, bro. I already told you. I'll bet you guys early this week. Go ahead.
Yeah, I like that game a lot. And I like Arkansas to end that BYU train, especially if they get KJ Jefferson back. I like that Arkansas game by a mile.
Okay. Sit dog. What you got for us, brother?
Tony me and Tony talk a lot. Y'all know that, but the Minnesota-Illinois game, Abraham's back. He's one of the best running backs in the nation. When that makes Minnesota a completely different team. Illinois is playing really good football. I think Minnesota will win by 7. I may bring it down a little bit to make it safer or even play that money line, but I love Minnesota in that spot. Arkansas, I've got that game. I've already put it on the board. I took the spread. I even took it at 1.5. I think it might even be +1 now. But one thing I've saw with BYU this year is they struggled when they went and played Oregon and played some athletes. They just got the hell beat out of them. So don't forget, Arkansas is an SEC team with a big old quarterback and big running back and a big offensive line. And even though things haven't went Arkansas's way, I think Arkansas will go up there and just pound it and just, it'll be an SEC team playing a non-SEC team. And I think that I like that play a lot. There's some other games I think we're going to cover, so I'll just hold back. There's no reason to double dip. So,
Tristan, is there anything you're looking at other than teasing 8 teams?
So I was actually just looking, and I saw something that said James Madison is ranked now, right?
Yeah, they were trending, brother.
They are. So
we run them early.
So they are -12, going to Georgia. I think that's Georgia Southern.
Yep.
Give me James Madison -12. I think they're gonna go out and go, this is why the fuck we're ranked now, and they're gonna blow out Georgia Southern.
I like it. I mean,
I like that too.
Yeah, I like it. I like the over also. I mean,
yes, I do.
You can do both of that. You can do both of them. I like them, but there's some really quality games here that, I mean, we could really sit down and watch all these games all day. But we talked a little bit about Penn State and Michigan. I mean, I'm just not a big fan of the Big Ten, but I do agree on the under. I mean, we talked about this a couple of weeks ago. Sit Dog and Tony, the kind of the trends that start happening midway in the season when these teams start figuring stuff out. You don't have to win by 60 anymore. All you got to do is win your conference. And so, looking at that Penn State Michigan game, I'm with you guys. I like the under 50.5. I don't think anything really is going to happen as far as win. Man, 7 points is just a lot for a conference game, especially 5 versus 10. I mean, am I wrong here? I like Penn State. I mean,
I've got Penn State. I've already got it teased on the board on the Discord. I think Penn State can win. I think Michigan is. I think this could. If Penn State comes out attacking on offense and can get going like they did in that Purdue game where they're spreading the field and moving the football. This was a Michigan team that Maryland had on the ropes. I don't think that this is a game Penn State can win outright.
I'm with you.
It's going to be slow and boring. So, if Michigan, puts the ball on the ground a couple of times and there's a couple of turnovers, the other thing too is I was looking at both of the teams, and I came up with the battle of we've played nobody bowl. So neither team has a quality win either. So
Right.
Michigan's has played one of the sorriest non-conference schedules probably in history of college football, playing Hawaii and Connecticut, and some of those spreads were over 60. So playing Maryland, and I think they played Indiana. I don't think we know what Michigan is, other than I think we'll find out a lot on Saturday.
Yeah, I don't put much stock in that team at all. Let's see here. Alabama, Tennessee. Is everybody on Tennessee here? I haven't heard anybody.
No.
No.
Everybody's on Alabama.
I'll go first because I know Brody's just loving it. But a few things here. Bryce Young will be back. Alabama is 6th in points allowed in the country and 6th in yards allowed. They have Will Anderson on the defensive line. Tennessee has played nobody. They give up 394 yards passing a game. They're not here's the thing. You can score all you want to, but you can't stop Alabama, and they can't stop the run. They're not going to be able to stop these running backs. They're not going to be able to stop these receivers. They're going to have no answer. So the pressure's on Tennessee to go out here and have to score 50, and Alabama's just got to get a few stops, and I think they'll get the few stops. So I think that not only will Bama win, I think they'll cover. Sharp money's on Bama too.
Tony?
Dude, the public is actually all over Tennessee. I saw 80% of the handles on Tennessee plus the points and the money line, surprisingly. I think they saw how shaky Bama looked against A&M. Tennessee clearly looked good against LSU. But Saban has never lost against Tennessee, 15-0. And only 2 times has it been within 2 scores. Tennessee is 1-10 and 2-9 against the spread. I'm sorry, 1-10 straight up and 2-9 against the spread as an underdog the last 3 seasons. And they have lost 4 straight top 10 matchups at home. Like Sid said, they give over 300 yards passing per game. That's ranked 128th in the nation. If Bryce Young is back, it might get ugly. Gibbs is a monster in the backfield. They're not scared of the moment. They won't be rattled by the noise. I like this Tennessee team.
Yeah.
I like this Tennessee team. But I think Bama's just too good. It's the Super Bowl for Tennessee, while it's just another regular Saturday for Alabama.
Well, so here's what I want. Does anybody have the stat for when the spread was this low this early in the season for Alabama?
Like what it opened at originally?
Well, no.
8.5.
Well, no. So I'm saying, like, when was the last time in week 7 or sooner was Alabama only given 7.5?
when they play teams like Auburn or an Ole Miss in past seasons, it gets down there. Yeah, it gets in the single digits.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can't recall like the Pacific game or Pacific date, but yeah.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
I can't, disregard or anything y'all are saying. I'm with you. That's 100%. It is Tennessee's Super Bowl. I highly doubt it's another one of just another game for Alabama, especially with what's happened the previous 2 weeks. And there's a little pressure on Bama. I think Saban's putting a little pressure on them. I like Alabama -4 in the first half. Okay, I'm going to say that just because that's the trend. That's what I bet. I've done it for 4 years. I'm not going to stop that shit. I think this smells to me like when we beat them. There's something about, they're not playing very good, and, injuries are not playing very good. And so it's just, I don't know. I liked it from the very beginning. And Tristan always told me, don't ever second guess yourself. And so I went ahead and bet it, but I got 7.5. I could always hedge it later, I guess, if I can, but I like I like Tennessee in this one. I like them at home, game day, all that good stuff that comes along with it. I'm all about it. I'm going to ride them, and I hope I hope it. And this is one of those things where you can't say, well, it's the look ahead, this, that, and the other. You can't, because you're in the SEC. In the SEC, every game is important. Every game is big. So, but it's always good. I'm with you, Brody. Let's ride the Tennessee train and hope
Let's ride it.
works out, and hope it works out for us. Let's see.
Where's Kane at, Brody?
Kane is he might. I know earlier he said he was at work, and he had to take a test today.
You gotta get his ass on here.
Well, let's talk about.
No.
Let's see, Mississippi State, Kentucky.
Yeah, Mississippi State, Kentucky.
Are you running down the list now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Mississippi. I'm trying to stick in the SEC just a little bit. Mississippi State and Kentucky. Kentucky's getting their guy back, right?
Yeah, Levis will be back, and it's a night game in Kentucky. It'll be a completely different story than last week.
Yeah, that was a big letdown for me too. I've loved Kentucky from the very beginning. I think they've got some of the best defensive coaches in the nation. What's the freaking line? I'm trying to find it.
Plus
4.5.
4.
It's 4.5 now.
4?
Yeah.
You can get 4. Kentucky plus 4, 160. Give me the money line, man. I love it. I'm all about it. I don't know. Talk to me. Where y'all at?
If they thought LSU was physical and Mississippi State, they had a hard time with LSU, and LSU beat Mississippi outright. If they didn't like Mississippi State's defense, or if they didn't like LSU's defense, wait till they get a load of Kentucky Saturday night with Levis back. And look, I don't know if you guys watched the South Carolina game, but I put it on the board. I took South Carolina money line. I put points. When they're putting up somebody's high school stats and it's his first game in the SEC, fade them. It doesn't matter if it's South Carolina. There's nobody in this league that if they're putting his high school stats up and he hadn't took a snap in college, I think the first play of the game they fumbled and South Carolina scooped and scored. So they were beat before the game even started. But you put Levis back in there, he's a mid first round grade. They're going to move the ball. It's going to give the defense, like Coach Z was saying, when your defense is on the field all night because you can't move the ball, eventually you get run down.
Right.
I don't care if you're playing Navy, you'll get run down if you're on the field all night. But at a night game, SEC game, bounce back game, is Mississippi State a little bit overrated? I think the line's already out next week. Tony, right, with Alabama. And who does Alabama play Mississippi State next week?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, the line's out. It's minus 17.
Yeah. So, I mean, Vegas knows Mississippi State's not that great. So, I think Kentucky here is it's a good bounce back. Levis comes back. They'll have that dual threat because they've got a great running back. I like I'm going to definitely tease it up, and but I may just play that point spread. Just give me the 4.5 or 4.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I like Kentucky in this one too. They are 16th in defensive passing yards per game. I don't think they want to get into a shootout with Mississippi State with Levis's first game back. So I think they're going to try to slow it down, control the clock with Levis, run Rodriguez a lot. The home
He's
team
a
is
stud.
Yeah, he is.
He's a stud.
The home team is 8-0 against the spread in the last 8 meetings. Mississippi State is 0-4 against the spread the last 4 meetings in Kentucky. Kentucky is 4-1 against the spread the last 5 games as an underdog when the spread is between 3.5 and 10. I think Kentucky gets back on track here. I'm going to take the +4. I'm going to sprinkle the money line, and I'm leaning the under as well. Because 49.
I was fixing to ask you, 49. It seems a little low.
Seems low for a Mississippi State game, and I think that's going to attract because it actually opened at 46.
Right.
So it's already up 3 because they're thinking, Mississippi State, the air raid, Mike Leach. Kentucky's getting their quarterback back.
Yeah.
So I think it's they put the line there for a reason. They're getting a lot of money on that over.
Yeah, I hear you. Speaking of about LSU Florida, I mean, we got to talk about them. LSU Florida, they opened up at Florida -2.5, over and under 51.5. They're at Florida. It's a night game in the swamp. You guys got to lean on that one.
I think if this game was a day game, I'd like LSU, but I'll take Florida at night money line.
Yeah, I like Florida money line.
Question
LSU
is,
looks bad.
which Richardson are we going to get? That's the problem.
That's
Yeah,
the problem.
That's
exactly.
true.
That's
That's
what I'm
true.
saying.
That's
Some
true.
games
And what
he looks
and
like
what
a
and what
Heisman.
Jayden Daniels do we want to get? I mean, these guys are very similar.
I think the under can hit.
Who picks up the most third downs when the play breaks down and they're running? And I told this last Friday when we were watching. We all had Missouri, but every week it seems like they want Richardson to stay in the pocket and be a pocket passer more, and he's getting away from running. He ran the ball and beat Utah, and the more Napier's coaching him, the more he's just staying in the pocket, and you're starting to try to make a square peg in a round hole when you're trying to turn this kid into a pocket passer. So I honestly feel like LSU wins this game because I think Daniels is older. He's played more games. He'll pick up more third downs. He'll scramble. He's going to give Florida's defense hell. And I'm telling you, LSU last week left a lot of points on the field against Tennessee because they got caught up in we've got to score. They started going on fourth down. Instead of taking field goals, they started going for it on fourth downs. They let the pressure get to them more than what they needed to early and got themselves out of the game. But they were moving the ball and sustaining drives against Tennessee. Missouri sustained drives last week against Florida. That game was really close. If there's not a pick six in that game and Florida's defense doesn't pick it up, they could have lost at home against Missouri. I think LSU will be better than Missouri offensively. Jayden Daniels is dangerous. Don't forget it. He might have played bad last week, but those running quarterbacks like that use their legs and can pick up first downs and move chains and stuff like that. I would almost go to say whoever runs the ball the most between Daniels and Richardson wins Saturday.
Those two teams are so unpredictable. I'm scared to death they're going to beat us. My Aggies. They're just, you never know. I mean, these guys could come out and be world beaters, or they can come out and look like the Pittsburgh Steelers, just freaking horrible. But it's an intriguing game. I'm going to watch it, especially at the Swamp. I've watched
just to touch on what on Sit was saying. Richardson, they're passing more is because I think Napier's starting to instill his system more. He's a pro style, under the gun kind of guy. That's what he did at Lafayette last year. And week one, we said it earlier preseason, it's not a good system fit. So week one against Utah, they kind of simplified it, said, hey, Richardson, go out there and make some plays. And now as the season develops, he's trying to implement his system. And we're seeing it more and more that it's not a good fit.
Yeah. Dude, that's a great segue. Utah's at home against USC, and Utah's given 3.5. Number 20, Utah against number 7, USC. Utah's given 3.5 at home. The over and under is 65. Now, you guys know I've been on Utah all year long. They've been one of my teams, and USC. Also, I mean, I was like, until somebody can stop them. Well, now both of my little trendy Pac-12 teams run into each other in a night game on Saturday in Utah. What do you guys think about that one?
Who wants to go first? Tony likes this game a lot.
Yeah, I've been high on both teams. I've been rocking with you, Coach Z, with Utah. I've taken them a lot. Both teams have made me a lot of money.
Yeah.
They burned me twice though. Now Utah. Last week, them giving up 42 points to UCLA was not a good look. But I think they did it to themselves. They were trading the first 4 possessions, then they throw a pick in the red zone. UCLA gets their first touchdown. There was a bad fumble that UCLA scooped up at like the fucking 1 yard line.
Yeah.
And they shot themselves in the foot. They missed a field goal. Well, they both missed field goals. But I think they put themselves in a hole, tried to play catch up in it. They're not that style of team, but you still can't underestimate their defense. this will be the toughest defense USC will face yet this season.
Yeah.
And Utah at home, it's a dangerous place. They have won 11 of the last 12 straight up at home. In this exact meeting, the home team is 8-3 against the spread. The Trojans are 1-4 against the spread in the last 5 games in Utah. I think the elevation plays a big factor.
Yeah.
I think Utah bounces back in a tight one. I said it during the recap. I think Utah beats them twice. I think they'll at least get this one now. Now I have to readjust it, but
Right.
they at least get this one at home and then show that USC is human.
Good look, Tony. Thank you, brother. Sit, Brody, y'all got some on this one?
I've talked to Tony about it at length, and I think over the past 3 or 4 years, I think that it's probably one of the most underrated places to just grab wins. It doesn't matter if Oregon goes there. It doesn't matter if it's USC. It just always seems to, and this is usually like, it's like they go ahead. It's a trap. They usually go, here's USC -3. All right. All of a sudden now USC is going in here as a dog. I read on Caesar Sportbook, I think it was posted that, there's already so much money coming in on USC that if USC wins, the book's going to be hurt. So, look for the pass interferences, look for the false start, look for all the crazy antics to be coming out in that game. But I'm like Tony. I think that this is the game where USC went on the road, struggled at Oregon State, struggled. I mean, we looked at what was the score of that game again?
17-14.
Yeah, I mean, and should have lost. I think USC goes on the road, and I think Utah's backed into a corner. This is the team that plays with pride. They play defense. I think Chip Kelly's really got it going on again. This will be a little bit down to their pace. I think Utah somehow comes out. I don't know how they're going to do it, but I think Utah is going to come out. But I won't touch this game unless I'm teasering up. I'll probably take the 3 and teaser up to 10 for USC because I think it will be real close. So, but I think Utah wins, but I won't touch that. I just will probably teaser it up and take USC.
Brody, what do you got on this game?
I like USC. I think Kayla Williams is a very good QB. He only has 1 interception, 14 touchdown passes. USC has the number 1 leads the nation in turnovers, plus 2.3 per game. So I think they're going to get some turnovers. And honestly, Utah, they didn't look too good against UCLA. Their defense, they didn't look too good.
Right. So I'm going to go at it. I agree with you guys. And yeah, last week was a letdown. But like I said, I met Coach Witt a bunch of times when I was coaching. He's a defensive minded coach, special teams coach. I think he gets that done. And I think he's going to have to play some good defense. The one way to beat this USC team is to keep them off the field. So I think they're going to, obviously run the ball a little bit more, but I think defensively they're going to step it up. I think the special teams is going to play a big part of this. And again, Utah at night, it's a different place to play. I think the coaching battle. I think Coach Witt wins this one, and I like Utah minus the points. I mean, I might bite down to 3, but I like Utah. I like everything about it. I like the bounce back. I like everything that's happening here.
Elevation too. I don't think we even mentioned that. You're taking a team from sea level and you're going elevation. So always remember that. And we do this in basketball. 3rd, 4th quarter, or if you've got to hurry up, you'll see guys starting to bend over because they're up in that thin air, and they're not used to breathing that thin air, and it's that can play a factor. So if it's close late, or if somebody has a 2-minute drive, you see your receivers over there with their hands down on their knees and they can't breathe up there in that elevation. It does play a factor.
I wonder when USC is going to go up, get up there, like when they leave this week. Just to try to get used to it. But anyway, That's yeah, I like it. That's good stuff right there to hang a hat on. I mean, I don't know about these two teams. Another two wild cards, but I just can't wait to watch it. Number 4, Clemson at Florida State.
Ooh, yeah, it's gonna be good.
I mean that thing. Who's going to
Hey,
show up?
I've got a simple explanation for this right here. I told Tony this earlier. Take every damn statistic and throw it out of the window. Florida State finds ways to lose. They did it. They almost did it against LSU. LSU missed that extra point.
Yeah,
They had the game won last week. They were in field goal range and threw an interception. Since Mike Norvell's been there, he has blown countless leads. They cannot win football games. Teaser this thing up or take Clemson money line because Florida State just doesn't know how to win. No X's and O's, none of that. Just it's very simple football. They do not know how to close. They do not know how to win.
Tony,
Okay.
Brody, you got something?
I like Clemson. They're pretty good. I didn't really watch them a lot this year, but Florida State does find a way to lose, and they really should have lost the LSU game. And I had money on LSU, so I was pretty upset that night. But yeah, I think they figure a way to win. Clemson and their QB DJ, he lost a lot of weight coming into this year. He looks a lot more healthier, a lot more flexible, and then
Right.
their offense looks good. Their running back, had that ACL tear last year. Shipley, he looks very good. I think Clemson honestly beats them by a touchdown.
Tony, you want to break this down for us, brother?
No, I absolutely agree. Clemson has looked a lot better than they have last year, and they play games tight, but they've always, kind of played games tight, especially with their new personnel. Ungale looks good this year, and he looked so bad last year because they had a bad offensive line last year. You start getting experience with that offensive line. You start building together as a unit. They move the ball well. He's managing. He's not forcing stuff as much as he last year. I think he's kind of humbled himself as well. It's tough when you take over for a Trevor Lawrence and follow Deshaun Watson and you try to come in there and want to put up 50 points a game. And I think that's what he wanted to do because in high school, he was the man. He had like 48 touchdowns his senior year of high school, like 3 interceptions. So I think he came in there. He was a little probably cocky.
Yeah.
He probably got humbled that first starting season, took a few big hits in the ACC, figured it out. And yeah, Clemson, I think they roll. They should be in contention for a playoff spot throughout the season. I don't see them losing.
That was going to be my next.
Fun fact, Will Shipley is actually from 10 minutes up the street from me.
Right.
Oh, that's cool. That's a cool fun fact.
Fun fact.
So that's a good segue, Tony. I was going to ask you guys, is Clemson really a number 4 team in this nation?
Doesn't matter if they are or they. It doesn't matter if they are or they not or they're not. I think we hit on this when we did our midseason preview or recap or whatever else. They're in the ACC, and unless Syracuse beats them next week, they're going undefeated and they're getting that spot. So it doesn't. It's unfair. I mean, I think
let me say it like this. Do you think they're the 4th best team in the nation?
No, they lose 3 games in the SEC.
Okay.
If they do make the playoff, and if they do make the playoff, I will probably fade them.
Yeah.
I would too.
It'll be free
100%.
money. It'll be free money if they have to play Georgia.
I've heard this. If I've heard it once, I've heard it 100 times this week, and it is a fair question. If Texas wins out, do they deserve a shot, at least a thought, for a 2-loss Texas team to go to the playoffs?
As a Longhorns fan, I absolutely love the discussion. I think.
Well, you got to, man.
If you look at it, it'll be tough, and I think it depends on what goes on around the league to be able to give them a chance. And I mean like the top 10. Like hypothetically, let's say Tennessee beats Bama, then Tennessee goes down. And I think you need a lot of things to go wrong for Texas to make it, even if they win out. If they beat Oklahoma State next week, if they beat TCU down the road, then if they play, another Oklahoma State or Baylor in the Big 12 championship, I think you need a lot of things to go wrong and Texas to win out for that to happen. Sid said it earlier. What was it, like 12% chance they make the playoff? Which
it was 12. It was higher than any other team in the Big 12.
Yeah, which I was surprised to hear that number. I figured it would be under 5 for sure.
But I think they already are favorites over Oklahoma State next week. Didn't you tell me that?
Yeah, they are. Texas next week against Oklahoma State is -2 in Oklahoma State. So that's interesting.
Hey, Tony and Sit will love this. Jake Plumley is having another game of his life tonight at 241 yards and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, but Temple's
he's already burned me on the under. The under in that game was like 48 or 49.
I just know y'all loved when he lit SMU up last week.
I tried to tell Tristan to take the over, but he wouldn't listen to me. Now I did screw
up.
Fuck
you, no, you didn't.
Yes, I did, and I did screw up, and I took Temple thinking that that Kurt Warner's kid was going to do a better job, but screwed the pooch on that. I was giving him a shot, giving him a shot. But so hey, let's go down the line. 2 or 3 top plays. I mean, something that right now, you'd bet right now. What are 2 or 3 of your top plays for this weekend? Tony, start with Tony.
Yeah, absolutely. I know Tristan said he likes TCU, but I like Oklahoma State plus the 3.5 and the money line. This is the first time in Big 12 since 2015 that 2 Big 12 teams are meeting that are 5-0 or better. I found that pretty interesting. Oklahoma State is 8-3 straight up and against the spread in road games the last 11. They're 4-1 against the spread as dogs the last 3 seasons. The dog is 6-1 against the spread the last 7 meetings between these 2 teams. The only one that didn't hit was last season when Oklahoma State beat the brakes off of TCU 63-17. Both teams ranked top 20 in passing, while both defensive passing is below 100th. TCU, it's going to be their running back's going to be the difference maker in Kendre Miller. He's good. But Oklahoma State's rushing defense is not terrible. They're 36th in the nation. And I say whoever wins this game, if it's Oklahoma State with Spencer or TCU with Dugan, I would sprinkle them for Heisman because they are having tremendous seasons.
Right.
Tony, you know these stats off the top of your head, or are you reading them?
I research them. I write them down. I remember them. I have more, but I know we don't have much time, so I try to break it down into 4 or 5 sentences. I could write a whole sheet.
You're like a freaking elephant.
I could listen. If we wanted to, I could talk about 15-30 minutes on each game every game.
You need to start writing a blog for us.
I could do it all. My grammar's a little off, so somebody's gonna have to proofread it. But yeah, I like Oklahoma State. I like the plus 3.5 a lot. I like them to win outright as well. They're my Big 12 conference champion pick. And then another one, mid-major here, Florida Atlantic minus 3.5 at home against Rice. I think Florida Atlantic is better than what their record shows. They're 1-4, which it looks gross. Rice has played up to some competition. They beat UAB Rice, and that was a pretty good win for them. But it's supposed to be raining down in Boca Raton during this game. FAU averages over 200 yards a game on the rushing. Rice is 91st in the nation in opposing rushing yards. I like them to bounce back at home after losing 3 in a row. Give me Florida Atlantic big.
I like it. Brody, you got a couple of big picks you're looking at right now?
I really like that Clemson. Money line spread. I think Florida State's overrated. I'm not too sure why the line is even that close. Yeah, I don't see Clemson losing. I think they cover easy, and I really do love that. I know y'all gonna hate me. Tristan and Tony. But I love that Tennessee spread and money line. I think it's the biggest game we had in a long time. I think it's definitely going to be rocking and nailing. They better get used to singing that Rocky Top. And I think Hendon Hooker is definitely a Heisman contender. He's having a hell of a season. It's definitely the spotlight for him to showcase his talents. I think he does it
Will
here.
Anderson has something to say about that.
I don't think he gets to him.
I like it. I
don't know about that. I'd actually take
Dog, what do you got, brother?
I may even take the. Is there a line we can take where Hooker gets knocked out of the game Saturday? No, and this is no disrespect, but I mean, like, Will Anderson's coming.
Yeah.
And there's nobody in hell and high water in college football going to stop him. He had 17 sacks last year, led the country. He increased. I saw a stat where he increased his upper body strength by 40% over the offseason. So,
crazy.
Like I said, we're getting into this, and I know, and I'm sick of hearing about this game. And y'all know me because I'm on all the games, and I'm sick of hearing about this game. I'll be glad when this thing's over Saturday and Alabama wins. I'm telling you. So my pick is, and like me and Tony, we're laying lays and we're building on Alabama because the caliber athletes. If Tennessee's been giving up 400 yards a game to these teams, I'm telling you, they're not going to slow down Alabama at all defensively. And this is just a league where eventually you have to play defense. There's a reason why these offenses don't work in the SEC. All they got to do is get a couple of stops, and Tennessee's defense is going to be on the field a lot Saturday. It's going to be a balanced attack. I mean, if you're a Tennessee fan, tell me what are they going to stop? Are they going to stop the run, or are they going to stop the pass? I know you're not crazy enough to tell me they're going to stop both. Brody, realistically, what are they going to stop on defense?
He's connecting. He's connecting. So what else do you got?
We're going Bama money line, and then
what's the money line at?
Minus 260.
Yeah, it's not bad, especially when you're running parlays.
Catch it live whenever they go down and score.
Yeah, you could do that. I mean,
I'll pull a Grizz and let Hooker throw one touchdown and catch Bam at minus 150.
I like Washington State. I know, but nobody's mentioned it. They're catching points. I'll probably tease that up to they're catching 3.5 against Oregon State. They still have a good quarterback. They still have a good team. They had a set. I mean, I always love to jump on a team where they go, oh God, they played USC last week. They looked horrible. There's an overreaction. And I don't know. Washington State's been so good all year. I don't think that they're going to – I think they probably win that game outright. But if you're looking for some value or looking for a good pick, I like Washington State. I'm going to put up a whole bunch more. Tony went through a whole bunch. But if you want me to just throw two, Alabama money line, take Washington plus the 3, and then I think we were supposed to talk about this game a little bit more, but Syracuse and NC State, there's no Leary. The backup went to Charleston Southern. He's going to be playing. I love to attack backup quarterbacks. This is the biggest game for Syracuse in quite some time. And they're not playing Alabama. They're playing a like opponent in NC State. This is somebody that they can actually win and set up a big game next week with Clemson. So I told Tony, I was like, it almost feels like to me like Syracuse is going to get up tomorrow and then just to play Clemson and lose next week. But they're going to get up to have the big game next week. So I think they'll beat an NC State team without Devin Leary. When Devin Leary went out in the fourth quarter, they threw the ball one time in the fourth quarter against Florida State.
Yeah. Still won.
Well, they still won, but the only reason they won is because Florida State threw an interception while they were in field goal range because Florida State refuses to win even when they have games won.
Hey, Tristan, are you looking into anything yet? Or are you still mad at the NFL?
The fuck? Nah, I mean, I'll probably be on. I'm actually probably going to live bet that Alabama game. I'll probably try and catch Alabama under a touchdown or catch the money line closer to minus 150 or under.
Well, I'm going to go. Obviously, I'm going to keep doing it. You have to. Texas, I think it's minus 8.5 right now in the first half. I'm going to take Texas first half like I usually do. I'm with you guys. I think Kansas +9. I just think that's ridiculous, and they're going to do it at Oklahoma. I like that. I like that a whole.
I like that too.
I like
Yeah,
that a
I
whole
like that
lot.
too.
Bama, I have to, in order for me to make money at the end of the season, I got to bet Bama first half. But I already got Tennessee in final game. And, dude, I'm sticking with the Qs, man, always. And I'm going to bet them. And then Tony talked me into Oklahoma State even more now. So those are just some good stuff to see. But you guys have got to go to COACHESCALL.store, get in the Discord so you can watch these guys go to work. It's really cool. You can learn a lot. You can tail, or you can fade. I mean, you can go in and fade me if you want. I don't give a shit. But you can see what we're doing. These guys do a lot of teasers and parlays, and y'all parlay money lines, correct? And then you tease up and
parlays,
down.
alternate lines. We do it all, and we're more than happy to talk to you. If you message me or you message Tony, or like me and Brody, we had a conversation. We love to put our heads together and go, what are you getting or what are you thinking, and we're already starting to drop some things, but our DMs are open, and
I'm always down to discuss games. I love it.
And basketball's right around the corner, and I'm excited to hear you guys talk some basketball in here also. That's going to be exciting. But guys, make sure you go to the COACHESCALL.store, hit the Discord. It's free to join. Come on in, be a part of it. Or if you just want to sit back and listen and watch what we do, come on in. It's free. It doesn't cost you anything. You can also catch us on Spotify and on YouTube. We're starting to post all this stuff on YouTube. So if you do come in and you have some questions, don't be shy, man. We don't care how much you bet, how little you bet, or where you come from. We want everybody to succeed. Guys, y'all got anything else before we close it up?
Nope.
All right. Hey, Tony, Brody, Sit, Tristan, thank you for being here. Donnie will be with us next week again. It's again, great time, great show. I appreciate you guys taking your time and giving us this info. It's all good stuff. And until next week, this is Sharp Lines and Stacking Dimes. Coaches Call NCAA Pick'em Show. You guys, I hope everybody wins. If you got any questions, come on in the Discord. Adios.